That's not all. In another report, in Bamenda, seems like the older ones are encouraging the younger ones to support the president. So hundreds of unemployed youths in Bamenda gathered at the historic Congress Hall on Saturday to declare their support for the President Paul Biya ahead of 2025 outlawed presidential election. The crowd, according to our report, mobilized under the young wing of the Cameroon's People's Democratic Movement, raised a reported 7 million francs CFA. This is how a venerated journalist in Bamenda puts it. In his side, it says 40-year-olds used, backed by 70-year-olds or 20-year-olds to beg 92-year-old to run for an election. Perfectly put. And so the event was tagged a mega show of loyalty, while it drew senior CPDM officials, youth leaders, and supporters from across the war-ridden Amazonia. Well, despite the enthusiastic tone from the CPDM leadership, allegations of misrepresentation and underpayment have emerged, particularly from motorcycle riders who led convoys to the venue. And so, according to them, the report we gathered says that these persons were at the Tredex upstation since 7 a.m. and escorted officials to the Congress Hall. After 5 hours, all they gave them were 2,000 francs each. Well, another participant expressed dissatisfaction with the portrayal of their role. He says 2,000 francs is too small for a bike rider for 5 hours, and to think they used us to say we the youths have declared support. That makes me sad. So we already know what is the foundation of this. And so sources indicate that riders were initially promised 5,000 francs worth of fuel, leading to the frustration when expectations went unmet. So the political climate in Bamenda remains highly tense. The rally has sparked widespread debate over the authenticity of youth support for Paul Biya, particularly as Bamenda battles chronic unemployment, infrastructure decay, and a protracted war that has claimed many young lives. And so the question is, why didn't they even pay these fake supporters the amount they were supposed to pay? Some participants asserted that recent appointments of local figures and promises of developmental projects motivated them. However, some youth reported that expectations of financial compensation played a significant role as they received less than half of the promised 5,000 francs. There is a growing concern that such rallies are less about political conviction and more about immediate financial incentives, said a Bamenda based political analyst, which is what it is. The colonial regime has made Amazonia vulnerable by making them poor. The poor, because of colonial imposed hardship, will easily be lured by a meager sum of 2,000 francs to run behind selfish politicians for a whole day. But then let's think about it critically. At 92 years old, President Paul Biya, who has ruled the Cameroon since 1982, plans to seek another 7-year mandate in October 2025 presidential election. So whether the 7 million francs CFA youth donation represents genuine support or not, it clearly shows that it is a calculated political maneuver which remains a matter of public scrutiny.